Hello, children of the night. I have some new comic book reviews, and as always, they're brought to you by my own comic book I self-publish, Red Knight. Issue 3 is out. It's the first story arc, all complete now, with issues 1 through 3. And they're only $2.99. If you order it, you can follow the instructions listed below this video. It's $3 plus $2 for shipping for the U.S. International, it's $3, and just follow the instructions below. And also, if you don't do the PayPal thing, there's a PO box. So just read the information below. This is issue 3. Now, I have some new comic book reviews, and let's go to the one I was most excited about. It is Batman Beyond Unlimited, or as the original title was going to be Super Duper Batman Beyond Unlimited, really cool, neat, oh, I can't believe it's not butter. And this is the return of the series. Now, they started before the whole new big 52 thing happened, and the series was quite successful because it was fairly well done. And let's see, so they've kind of brought it back. They figured out how to bring it back. It's sort of separate from the regular rest of the continuity, you know, like every book at DC now. And it is written by Adam Beecham, and for the main Batman story, Norm Brayfogle, my all-time favorite Batman artist, is back doing a Batman, and I'll get to that later. And the second half, it's a Justice League Beyond story, and let's see, that is written by Derek Fridolfs and co-written by Dustin Nguyen, who does the art, who is also you know, a favorite Batman artist of mine. Not one of my favorites, but he's really, really good, and I'll get to that in a minute. First things first, Norm Brayfogle is back, motherfucker, and we're dealing with the Jokers in this first story arc. Now, they've always been kind of just more of a nuisance. They're essentially a gang, no different than like the Street Demons during the 90s, or in the Frank Miller books, the Mutants. Actually, maybe even less of a threat than the Mutants. And we see that there's some kind of intelligence coming across and studying Batman and using Jokers, actually. So it looks like someone's starting to take over the group. And he has a creepy sidekick who looks a lot like John Wayne Gacy to me. And I could just attribute that to Norman Brayfogle going with his strengths. Yeah, he's got a futuristic Batman look, which is a more cleaner, you know, cartoon universe. But Norman Brayfogle is great at bringing the creepy, and I'll get more into that. Now, we're just being reintroduced to some of our characters, like old Bruce Wayne, and you know, what's her face, and his girlfriend Dana. Always with the problems in him and Dana. And we jump for that to a pretty exciting action sequence in the park here, with him fighting a bunch of Jokers. And, you know, very, very crisp, clean action. And I miss seeing Norman Brayfogle doing action scenes. And, oh boy, jeez, this stuff is pretty. I love his art. At the end, we have a nice, shocking surprise. I won't give it that away, actually. I'll save it for you. But our main villain and his little John Wayne Gacy sidekick are both pretty creepy, actually, the way they're presented through Brayfogle's art. Love it. This alone is 5 gram chips. But also got the Justice League Beyond-ish story, which is the backup. And, of course, Dustin Nguyen is back. And I always enjoyed his style. He has kind of almost an indie look to his books. And he brings that to, you know, the regular, you know, DC universe when he puts... And the issue starts out with them also fighting the Jokers. The Jokers are getting a lot of play in this one, I guess. Although it's not connected to the other story, actually. They're just fighting the Jokers. And, I don't know, maybe the Justice League's time could be better spent than fighting a street gang, but, you know, that's just me. But we get reintroduced to some of the other characters, like Harley Quinn's granddaughters, whatever their fucking names are, the twins. And Barbara Gordon shows up. The art and coloring is just lovely, and I love the scene where there's two Bizarros here, Bizarra and Kid Zorro, that Superman brings in, and he sends them to the Phantom Zone, and Terry has never really seen that, so I love his reaction here. He asks, he's shocked. He asks, did you just vaporize them? and Superman has to explain to him, no, it's another dimension that's, you know, kind of like hell. But anyway, let's get on to this superhero stuff. And there's the main plot, I guess, is going to be Micron, who is never around in any of the Justice League Beyond stuff I see. Because he's always, I don't know, he's such a pain in the ass. He's always getting kidnapped or near dead. And now he apparently maybe is a traitor working with the Cobra guys. And they try to decide what to do about it. And then they start having, like, flashbacks to things that happened in the series, which I'm not sure if they needed to do. I mean, it's almost like scenes from Family Guy. It's like, hey, remember the time when we were all controlled by Starro? And, oh yeah, remember the time when you were controlled by Darkseid? Yeah. So, it's not as good as the main story, but it is entertaining. I just hope it, you know, improves as the story goes on. The main story is fantastic, though, and all worth it right here. It makes it 5 RAM chips altogether. You definitely should check it out. 5. Now, let's go over to Action Comics number 7 by Grant Morrison and Rags Morales. Now, finally we got all that weird shit out of the way in issues 5 and 6. I don't know what the fuck was going on, and you know, I don't even care. But now we got back to the story. I mean, for God's sakes, in issue 4, at the end, Brainiac kidnaps all of Metropolis, shrinking it down, apparently, and putting it in his ship, you know, like he does. And, you know, it's been taken. So it's like, oh my god, you know, the military and Superman are just, and Steel are standing out looking at an empty fucking crater that used to be the city. Of the size of New York, for God's sakes. And then we go off into this weird-ass kind of, I don't know, fucking Doctor Who story that he was trying to do. And it's like, I want to read the story you're doing. So now we're back. And holy crap, is it great. It starts out really wonderful with Superman jumping to the spaceship and showing why he needs to really lose the jeans and boots t-shirt attire, because it just doesn't handle the trip very well. He eventually breaks in and discovers the city. At the same time, Luthor and Lois Lane are figuring out what's going on, and they're fairly calm about the situation. This is supposed to be a more realistic world, by the way, up until Superman showing up a few weeks earlier. So they're alien weird crap is supposed to be not the norm, but you know, they're taking it pretty well. And then all of Metropolis sees Superman, like this big ass giant Superman looking at him. His giant S. And then he okay, then he finds the clothes. Finally, the Jim Lee Superman suit that he's been wearing in Justice League and the other Superman title. And we've been wondering, like, oh, how's he going to make that transition? Well, it was in his Brainiac's collection, and it, I guess, transforms when he puts it on to the colors. So I guess this suit is supposed to be maybe his only suit that's built to withstand all the shit he goes through. So it's already been established in previous issues, I think in 2, that the cape can withstand all sorts of punishment. It must have been the only thing that was found in his spaceship. That he's had all his life. It has this family crest symbol, which is, you know, obviously the S. And, you know, it can take all sorts of punishment and can be beaten up, so I guess the rest of the suit can. So I'll be very interested to see if this suit ever takes any shredding or anything like that, which his old suit, pre-New 52, post-Crisis, whatever the fuck, would get ripped up all the time. So we'll see if that happens. Let's see how consistent that stays. I love the scene where he's changing. He's like changing in front of the whole fucking city. Oh well. But then he's confronted, of course, by Brainiac, who looks all crazy and shit, which is a nice design. Very exciting, very, very entertaining. I was on the fence about dropping this book before this issue, but hey, you got me back very, very quickly, actually. Very exciting. You had me on page 3, for God's sakes. Very good work. I love this series so far, barring the weird side trip. This issue is 5 RAM chips. Now, let's go over to iZOMBIE from DC Vertigo. And I still call it DC Vertigo, so you know what? I don't care. And Lindsay disagrees with me. It's like, you know, they own the company. You know, it's still, I don't care. Oh, I mean, they got the goddamn logo with the Super Friends on the top. It's DC. And by the way, I just want to say this is my favorite cover of this week. I think that is just stunning. Mike Allred turns out beautiful covers all the time, but every once in a while, like every couple of issues of iZOMBIE, I'm just blown away by his work. And this, of course, is Chris Robinson and Michael Allred, as always. And let's see, we got lots of backstory. We got the story of how the last time the apocalypse was prevented. And we got Lady Frankenstein monster trying to you know, start a new one. But she gets attacked by our teamed up groups of, you know, government zombies and monster hunters. Love this page, by the way. I mean, that's a Russian Frankenstein guy fighting monster hunters. Love it. Then we see Spot get away from his captor. And let's see. I love the shot where they're like, you know, fighting those swords right in his back, and like, it's like they're putting real work into it. Let's see. Let's go on further, and we have more Amon trying, realizing that, oh, he wasn't able to stop the apocalypse and stuff by killing Spot. Actually, I don't think he needed to. I think he was sadly mistaken, and thankfully Spot got away from him. But Gwen finally makes a choice and decides to hook up with him to see if what she can do to save the world. Meanwhile, the demon makes, I guess, its appearance in its host form. What a surprise who it is. At least I was surprised. I love this series. You should all read iZOMBIE, especially if you love kind of fun horror, suspense, comedy. You know, kind of almost the Buffy take on monsters and fun. I love the series a lot. This is 5 RAM chips. Hey, everything was good this week. Awesome. Well, push the button, Lindsay.